Starting a YouTube channel on a low budget. How do you do it? What are the things that you're required to have? What do you need? Now, I've watched a couple of YouTube videos on people telling us what do we need. Now, I'm thinking some of them they're talking about a lot of things. You need to go to the moon first. You need to learn how to swim. You need to eat your breakfast early in the morning. You need. No. In reality, you don't really need that much. You just need a couple of things, put them together, then you have your channel. But the first thing you have to decide on what you're going to use your channel for. Are you going to use your channel as a hobby-based channel, or are you going to use your channel as a business-based channel? Then after making that decision, then you would know what actually do you need. Now, one of the most important things I think, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, is having a notepad. A notepad. Why a notepad? Because that is where you put down your plans. That is where you put down your mind, your thinking, and everything that you're going to do and where you're going with your channel. That's why you need a notepad. That's one of the first and most important things that you need. Another thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a cell phone. Not that cell phone. Okay. A cell phone with a camera. Why a cell phone with a camera? Obviously, you will use it for recording yourself and all other stuff. Then, you don't really need a camera at this stage because you're starting out. Then you don't really need a digital camera. So let's just stick with the cell phone with a camera. Then you're going to need a desktop or laptop. Why do you need a desktop or laptop? Because some of these softwares, some of these features are not really available on digital phones. So somewhere you might encounter problems while you are busy with your editing or with your designs or whatever that you might be doing. So a desktop is much better. Now, those are the basics. Those are your basic foundation. Those are your equipment that you're going to need. Now, let's talk about the technical side of things. Let's talk about the software side, the types of software. You're going to need a software that will help you to design. And one software that I recommend for you to use is Clipchamp. Why Clipchamp? Because it's free and it's easy and it's user-friendly. So that one will be used for your designs, your editing, and all sorts of stuff. And another one that I recommend is Canva. Canva is also good. It's also free. But some features in Canva, you might have to pay for them, but that's for a later stage. And when you're dealing with the software phase and learning how to use the softwares, it's always better to ask good old Uncle Google. Good old Uncle Google, then that you move easier that way on your software phases. Then from there, okay, another thing I forgot to mention, you're going to need a stable internet connection. You don't need to be having data issues while you're busy recording or while you're busy uploading. So you're going to need a stable internet connection. Those are the basics of having a YouTube channel. And okay, on a later videos, I will discuss more about using these softwares and how do they work and all of that. But for now, you can like and subscribe. Ciao.